guys, welcome back to my channel. Now the world is opening up right now and people are starting to get back to work. However, I think we're going to see a shift that very many people are not going to be returning to work, and we're going to see very many people working from home, and here's why. So I think we have turned a corner when it comes to the dynamics of work. When we left work, I think in around like March 2020, most of us left our belongings in the office. We left our desks the same way they were organized because we had this feeling that we were going to come back. Now, as the world is opening up, we're seeing 20% of people quitting their jobs and some of them just opting entirely to staying home. So why is that happening? This can be attributed to the changes that came with the pandemic. As we have seen people coming back, some companies are now adopting to hybrid systems of work, where sometimes you work from home and then other times you come and work into the office because of the flexibility that it gave employees. And right now it's just very difficult for them to adjust to another setup of now working entirely in the offices. Also, we have seen people who can attest to being really productive as they work from home because they are more centered when it comes to focusing on this. Remember, you do away with the hours or the time that you spend walking to work or driving to work, the whole commute of like in the morning and in the evenings. That time, people can attest to being able to use it like very productively as they sit in one place at work, and then they just focus and then they deliver very well. So also the pandemic has seen people take on fractional roles. So for instance, you might be contributing to 5 organizations all at once, and that is sometimes very difficult when you're physically present in an organization, because when you're physically present, you're going to be bombarded with very many questions, very many interruptions, and it's quite difficult for you to spread yourself to do multiple tasks at the same time. However, as people are working from home, they are able to kind of throw their day around the way they want. So if I feel like contributing, like I can make my to-do list for the entire day and just kind of like break it down into, let's say if I'm working for 5 organizations right now, I can kind of break it down into, all 5 and say, okay, for this organization, it needs ABCD. I need to contribute to this. I need to have this meeting for this organization. And you find that it really works so well with the work from home than it is when it comes to physically working in the office. So back to the question that we asked earlier, did the productivity kind of like shift as people are working from home? In the beginning, yes, it did, because with the start of the pandemic, some people did not even know how they could navigate working in their home spaces. Not all home spaces are work conducive. You have like, housework, you have kids running around, you have homeschooling, then at the same time you also have like to deal with losing people and how hard that time was for people. It was very stressful, and for very many people it was quite difficult to hold themselves accountable in a space where they don't have their colleagues or their bosses kind of like checking on their progress and seeing how far things were. But going into 2021, we saw that things changed a little bit. People had kind of like mastered how to go around the problems of the pandemic. At the same time, people had kind of developed a structure for their kids, for homeschooling, also as well as for house chores. People had already figured that out, and the productivity was already boosted. But we can also not deny the fact that working from home also kind of took a toll on some people. So for instance, some people found it really difficult to get like inputs from their colleagues during the pandemic. So for them, they felt like it was quite easy working in the office space, because then if I need to just pop in and ask somebody a question, they're just like next door, and I can just pop in and say, hey, what do you think about ABCD? I already have the feedback that I need, and then I'm going to proceed. So for a company right now, what I would recommend for you to do going forward into this new space where now we are shifting back to work, but at the same time people have had like 2 years of working from home and having the flexibility and having enough time to navigate like their careers in other ways besides the work that you do or that they do with your organization. What you can do is kind of have a balance between the like working from home, but at the same time also working in the office, because I think work from home gave people that work-life balance that they were looking for, and definitely people are going to miss that. And that is why we're seeing a very big shift and people quitting their jobs. If you want to have more information about why people are quitting during this period, I did a video on that last week, and I'll just put a card up here that you can just go and look at right now. But going forward, I think hybrid formats of work are the best way going forward, because then it gives people that flexibility to be able to continue with their work, but at the same time to also have that flexibility to either be with their families or to even take on other opportunities while also serving you. The key thing is to just have like maybe key performance indicators, or like clearly spell out people's outputs that you need, because then you'll be able to check the rate at which they are working or their success. Just checking their key performance indicators. If they're hitting their targets really well, you'll be able to know if this is working out for you. So you can do an assessment in the next 6 months to just see, okay, is this something we're willing to do, or maybe we just quit this entirely. That's up to you. And if you have entirely decided to work from home and you feel like, okay, I am going to just stick to this whole work from home thing, probably you're taking on jobs that are virtually, that require you to appear virtually, then that is totally okay. Just what you need to make sure is you don't have the burnout of taking on so much that you like, taking on way too much than you can handle. What you could do about this is make sure you have a plan. How many people am I working for? Understand what the deliverables are for each and every person that you're working for, and make sure that you have like maybe monthly targets so that you keep in check with each and every one. Because sometimes, you know, when you're not working with people, it is very difficult for people to keep themselves accountable, and you need to be the one that keeps yourself accountable. You need to sit in your space and know, I need to do ABCD, I need to reach out to these people, I need to email this person. You need to also be able to take on meetings, because you're not going to entirely be staying at home. So take on some meetings as well, have some interactions with people to just keep you very creative, and to also allow your brain to think very innovatively in the roles that you're taking on, because this is what is going to keep you to be on form or to be on your A game, so that you keep and maintain the jobs that you're doing right now. So I hope this information was really helpful for you. I have a couple of videos that I did previously about productivity, and I think that can be very helpful for you in managing your day or planning very well the activities that you want to do throughout the week or throughout the month. Also, at the same time, I did a little video about how to work from home effectively. I think that will also come in handy. So I'll put the links in the end card, and I hope that you can check them out. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching, and please make sure that you subscribe, because I would love for you to watch more content like this. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.